No one tells you this directly. They just treat you differently. Their tone changes. Their patience disappears. Their respect evaporates. You didn't say anything wrong. You didn't act weak. You didn't beg. You simply looked broke. And in the real world, that is enough to downgrade your value in the minds of others. Not because money defines worth, but because perception defines power. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. This video is for those who feel invisible, for those whose words carry less weight than they should, for those who notice that people listen after status speaks, not before. If you've ever been ignored, underestimated, talked down to, or subtly dismissed, this isn't because you lack intelligence. It's because the world reads signals before it hears arguments. And one of the loudest signals you can send without speaking is how broke you appear. This is not a celebration of greed. This is not worship of wealth. And this is not advice to deceive or manipulate maliciously. This is a psychological analysis of power, perception, and survival. Understanding how the world works does not make you immoral. Refusing to understand it makes you vulnerable. Machiavelli didn't invent cruelty. He exposed it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why people subconsciously disrespect those who look broke, why morality alone never protects you, why appearance precedes character in human judgment, and how to reclaim authority without selling your soul. This isn't about becoming rich overnight. It's about becoming untouchable. Watch this carefully, not casually, because once you recognize these patterns, you'll start seeing them everywhere in work, friendships, dating, family, and society itself. And most people never recover from realizing the truth too late. Number 1. The primal judgment. Humans are not rational first. They are instinctive first. You feel it the moment you walk into a room. Before anyone speaks, before anyone smiles, eyes move. Not for long, just enough. Before logic, before ethics, before compassion, someone looks you up and down. Shoes, clothes, posture, not in a cruel way, in a quiet way, like checking the weather. The brain asks one question. It asks it fast. So fast you don't hear it. Is this person above me, below me, or equal to me? No one says it out loud. No one admits it. But you feel the answer settle in the room. Looking broke answers that question instantly. You stand at a counter. Your card takes a second too long. The machine makes a sound. The cashier looks away. Nothing is said. But the air changes. It signals scarcity. You notice people stop explaining things fully. They give shorter replies. They stop asking follow-up questions. Scarcity signals weakness. You're not attacked. You're ignored. Someone interrupts you mid-sentence. Someone else finishes your thought for you. They don't check if they're right. Weakness invites disrespect. Not consciously, instinctively. No one thinks, I will treat this person worse. It just happens. Their nervous system does it for them. A friend used to reply fast. Now it takes days. No reason given. At a gathering, chairs fill up. There's still space, but no one gestures for you to sit. You're still there. You're just less noticed. Machiavelli wrote that men judge more by the eye than by the hand. You see it when someone listens harder to a man in a clean jacket than to the same words spoken by someone tired. Because everyone can see, but few can truly feel. They don't feel your effort. They don't feel your pressure. They don't feel what it costs you to stand there calmly. They only see what's visible. And they decide without deciding. The room doesn't turn against you. It simply stops leaning your way, and no one explains why. Number 2, poverty as a social sin. In modern society, poverty isn't seen as misfortune. It's seen as failure. You feel it when someone asks, "So what do you do?" And their tone changes halfway through the answer. They nod, but their eyes drift, even when it's not true, even when it's temporary, even when it's inherited. No one asks how it happened. They just assume it did. Looking broke implies things you never said. You're standing in line. Someone behind you sighs loudly. Not at the wait, at you. They think you lack discipline. Not because they know your mornings, not because they've seen you push through tired days, just because of how you look right now. They think you lack foresight, like you never planned, like you never tried, like this moment is the full story. They think you lack control. You notice it when people give advice you didn't ask for. Slow advice, simplified advice, as if you might miss something obvious. They think you lack influence. Meetings end without your input. Decisions are made before you arrive. You hear about them later. And influence is the currency of respect, not honesty, not effort, not truth. You see it when a well-dressed liar speaks confidently. People lean in. They wait. Then someone else says the same thing, quieter, wearing worn clothes, and the room stays still. This is why people listen more closely to the well-dressed liar than the poorly dressed truth-teller. No one calls it unfair. They just call it normal. Perception precedes truth. Always. A rumor dressed well walks faster than a fact dressed plainly. By the time truth arrives, the room has already chosen who to believe, and the choice feels natural. So natural no one questions it. You're not judged for being wrong. You're judged for looking like you might be. And once that feeling settles, it doesn't rush to leave. It just sits there, quiet, decisive. Number 3. Machiavelli's core insight. Machiavelli never said rulers must be rich. He said rulers must appear powerful. There's a difference, and people feel it before they understand it. Appearance is not decoration. It is armor. You see it in how a room reacts before words are spoken. Someone enters. Nothing loud, nothing dramatic, but backs straighten, voices lower, jokes pause halfway through. Not because they know who he is, because of how he looks standing there. A prince who appears poor invites rebellion. Not rebellion with weapons, with hesitation, with delay. Orders are questioned. Instructions are softened. Urgency disappears. A man who appears broke invites disrespect, not insults. Something quieter, messages answered late, promises left loose, boundaries pushed just a little further. No one says, "I don't respect you." They just stop adjusting their behavior around you. Because humans do not protect what they do not fear losing. You feel it when someone cancels plans with you, but would never cancel on someone else. You hear it when your warning is laughed off, but repeated seriously when someone important says the same thing. Protection fades when value feels low. People guard what costs them something to lose. Time, status, access. When you don't look like you cost anything, you're treated like you don't. Not attacked, not challenged, just left exposed. And armor only works when others believe it's there. Once they don't, they behave accordingly, quietly, naturally, without apology. Number 4. The invisible tax of looking broke. When you look broke, small things start happening. At first, you think you're imagining it. People interrupt you. You're mid-sentence. Not rambling, not loud, just speaking. Someone cuts in, keeps going, doesn't circle back. They don't say sorry. They don't even notice. People delay you. Messages sit unread, then seen, then unanswered. You follow up once, carefully. Hours pass. Days pass. When they reply, it's casual, like time doesn't cost you anything. People test you. They show up late. They change plans last minute. They push a little, not aggressively, curiously. They want to see if you'll react, if you'll swallow it, if you'll adjust. People feel entitled to waste your time. Meetings start without you, end without you. Decisions move ahead. You're informed after, as if that's enough. You pay an invisible tax, daily. No receipt, no warning. You work harder for less patience. You explain things twice, then again, slower each time. You speak more for less attention. You raise your voice slightly, not loud, just enough. Still, eyes wander. Phones come out. The moment slips. Not because you deserve it. You replay it later. Wonder what you said wrong, what you could have done better. But it's not about that. It's because you signal low consequence. nothing bad seems to happen. If they ignore you, nothing feels at risk. If they disrespect you, so they do it softly, casually, like stretching in a chair that doesn't belong to them. And the tax keeps collecting. Not once, not loudly, just enough each day that you feel tired without knowing why. Number 5. Why morality doesn't save you. Good character doesn't shield you from social reality. You learn this slowly. In small moments, you do the right thing. No one notices. You stay calm. Someone else takes credit. Kind people get exploited. You say yes too quickly. You give the benefit of the doubt. Again, people remember that about you. They don't remember to return it. Honest people get ignored. You tell the truth plainly. No drama, no polish. The room stays quiet. Later, someone else says a softer lie. With confidence, with ease, everyone nods. Humble people get overlooked. You wait your turn. You don't interrupt. You don't push. The conversation moves on without you, and no one circles back. Not because they're cruel, because nothing forces them to. Machiavelli warned against confusing virtue with effectiveness. You can feel the difference when it matters. Virtue is quiet. It waits. Effectiveness enters and changes the room. Virtue without power is decoration, like a framed quote on a wall. Nice to look at, easy to ignore. People admire it from a distance, then keep moving. And the world does not reward decoration. It rewards presence. Weight. Consequence. You can be good and still be passed over. You can be right and still be dismissed. You can be decent and still be treated as optional. No one announces this. No one explains it. You just notice who gets listened to when time is short and who gets thanked after the decision is already made. The silence around virtue is not loud, but it's consistent. And once you feel it, it's hard to unfeel. Number 6. Appearance as a language. Clothes are not fashion. They are language. You don't have to say a word. The message is already sent. You walk into a place you've never been. No one asks questions yet. They already decided how to stand near you. Posture is not confidence. It is messaging. Shoulders forward, eyes down. People step closer than they should. They speak over you without checking. Stand still. Head up. They hesitate for half a second. That pause changes things. Grooming is not vanity. It is hierarchy signaling. Not expensive, just intentional. You notice who gets offered water first, who gets asked if they're waiting, who is left standing. People don't ask who you are. That would take time and effort. They assume a glance, a detail, a shortcut. Assumptions shape behavior faster than truth ever can. Someone calls you buddy. Someone else calls another man sir. No one explains why. A door is held open. Another door swings shut. You could correct them, explain yourself. But the moment already passed. Language works before conversation begins. By the time truth speaks, the body already reacted. And bodies don't apologize. They just keep moving in the direction they chose first. You feel it most when nothing is said at all. Just space, distance, and a quiet understanding that arrived before you did. Number 7. The dangerous myth of be yourself. Be yourself only works when yourself commands respect. You've seen this play out. Someone says whatever they want. They're called bold. Someone else does the same thing. They're called awkward. Same words, different reaction. If your current self triggers dismissal, authenticity becomes self-sabotage. You walk into a room relaxed, open, unfiltered. People smile politely, then move on. You share an idea the way it came to you. Honest, unshaped. It lands flat. No pushback. No interest. Not because it's bad, because of who said it. Machiavelli would call this naivete, not as an insult, as an observation. The world doesn't pause to understand you. It reacts. The wise man adapts to the world. He does not demand the world adapt to him. You notice who changes tone depending on where they are, who chooses words carefully, who holds back at the right moments. They're not fake. They're precise. They don't reveal everything at once. They wait. They adjust without announcing it. Meanwhile, the one who insists on just being real keeps getting surprised by the same outcome: silence, distance, polite dismissal. The myth sounds kind. It feels freeing until you live with the results, because being yourself is easy advice. When the room already leans towards you, when it doesn't, authenticity doesn't protect you, it exposes you. And the world reacts before it reflects. By the time you realize it, the moment is already gone, and no one explains what changed or why. Number 8. Why people feel entitled to disrespect you. Disrespect is rarely personal. It's opportunistic. You notice it in small ways first. A comment that lingers too long. A glance that holds just a fraction too much judgment. People disrespect those they believe cannot retaliate socially, economically, or reputationally. A coworker interrupts you in a meeting. They smile as they do it. No anger, just a quiet assumption you won't push back. Someone borrows your time, your energy, your patience. They return none of it, because they know it costs you little to give. Looking broke removes the fear of consequence. Your words carry less weight. Your presence feels lighter. Your absence barely noticed. No fear. No respect. You feel it when someone forgets to include you. When they take the last piece, the first seat, the front spot. When they speak over you in a group, no one plots against you. They simply notice there's nothing in the way, nothing they'll lose. And so they push. It's quiet, subtle, accumulating. A hand brushes past you on the street. A smile is skipped at the coffee counter. A meeting starts without your input. Nothing violent, nothing dramatic, but enough that every day feels heavier. And the realization hits slowly. The world respects what it fears. And when it fears nothing, it leaves you behind. The room does not collapse. It does not shout. It just leans away. And you notice too late. That absence of fear is the same as absence of respect. Observe this week. Who speaks over whom? Who waits and who is kept waiting? Who is apologized to and who is ignored? Then notice the correlation between appearance and treatment. You'll feel uncomfortable. That's the awakening. This isn't about becoming shallow. It isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's quieter than that. It's about refusing to be naive. You see it in the small decisions. A conversation where you hold your cards close. A smile that doesn't reveal too much. A silence that keeps you safe. You don't owe the world your vulnerability. No one asks for it. Yet so many give it away anyway. And the world treats it as currency. You owe yourself protection. A guard over your time. A guard over your presence. A guard over how much you allow others to weigh on you. Machiavelli didn't teach cruelty. He didn't say, take what you want. He didn't say, exploit everyone. He taught realism. The world is not fair. It is not just. It is not careful with the ones who show too much. And realism saves lives. Not by force. Not by anger. By seeing the room clearly. By walking through it with eyes open. You notice who moves around you. Who steps closer. Who steps back. Not because of charm. Not because of words. Because they sense who can protect themselves. And sometimes that protection is enough. Enough to be left alone. Enough to survive quietly. Enough to keep your place in the world without asking permission. No one applauds it. No one thanks you for it. But in the silence afterward, you know you are still standing. And that is enough. If this perspective resonates with you, subscribe to The Less You Look. This channel is for those who want to see clearly, not comfortably. The world respects signals, not intentions. It rewards appearance before essence. You can curse that reality, or you can master it. Because power ignored is power wasted. And in the end, the less you look, the more they assume. And assumption is where control begins.